Hello, everyone, and welcome to this first session of District Officer Training X of District 109. Welcome, everyone. I'm very happy to have you. I am the Pro Quality Director of District 109. I'm Leo Glukowski, and I'm very happy to have all of you here. It's a great pleasure, and especially as incoming district officers, area directors, for the most part, you are stepping into very big and important shoes. Whether it's the first time you're an area director or it's your 10th time being an area director, which means you would have been in the organization for at least, I believe, 20 years. Either way, you it's it's always something new and it's something that you learn from because this is the next step in leadership. So it's important that we help each other and, of course, train you. Um, as many of you may know and or may not know, all area directors and division directors are required to receive at least 4 hours of training by September 30th. So we'll have these sessions, each is 2 hours. We'll have more sessions in September. By the way, we'll be taking a break in August, but we'll be coming back in September with more interesting sessions. And of course, I will let you know. Enough of some ground rules or some ground information. And I would like to introduce to our first session for today, given by distinguished Toastmaster Francesca Gammicchia, our immediate past district director. She'll be giving a workshop on inclusivity versus cancel culture, fostering inclusivity without falling into the trap of the tolerance and cancel culture. She has major experience with inclusivity. She started working in different jobs since she was young, since a young age. And, well, her family spreads over 2 different countries with 5 kids from 3 different mothers, one of them being with an autistic brother. Now, professionally, she also has worked in international companies that require adaptability and, of course, compliance to diversity. So nowadays, as a business coach, she advises entrepreneurs how to implement inclusion. And of course, on a very personal note, she's a very good friend of mine, dear colleague, and we've gotten to work so much over the past year. Help me welcome immediate past district director, distinguished Toastmaster Francesca Gammicchia. Woo!
Thank you, dear Lau, for this fabulous presentation. And hello, everybody. Some friends, I think almost of you I know you, and some of you I don't know. So I would like to start this educational session with 30 seconds of presentation. Please state who you are, what's how many years you are in Toastmasters, which area or division are you serving, and what is your knowledges about inclusivity and diversity. This last question you can answer via the poll that Laura will share with you as well. I start with the first name I see here on my screen, and this is Franklin.
Hi, hello. Can you hear me?
Very well.
Good. Well, I'm Franklin. I'm a new area director. I'm learning to be. I did my first visit as area director already, the 1st of July, which I celebrate. And I serve in the D2 in Geneva. So I have 4 clubs. One of them is a French-speaking club, which are supposed to speak French. And for me, this is very fascinating because I've been in Toastmaster for almost 2 years. And this is a completely new universe. And if I knew this existed before, my question is where was I before, So I love this much. I'm a little scared about this role because it's so much responsibilities, but I'm actually really excited. So I'm gonna transform that energy into something good. And yeah, I hope it's gonna be really good. And thank you guys for your support.
Thank you very much. Christina. Christina, Christina, you need to state your surname so I can learn the pronunciation.
Sorry?
No, not Christina.
I think she means
Guglielmini,
Protuseviciote, if I can pronounce.
Yes, Lau, you pronounce it correctly. Indeed. Protuseviciote. Hello, everyone. So my name is actually I am from Lithuania, and we have those nice names, long names, mostly, not every time. I'm at Basel Roche Toastmasters since I think 6 years. I don't know exactly. And I'm new area director of C4, if I do remember correctly. And I will support 4 clubs. Yes, and I don't know what else should I say to that. I think that is everything, correct?
Yes, we will discover more later. Thank you very much.
Okay, perfect.
Now, Christina Guglielmini.
Christina without K. So I've been in Toastmaster 3 years in this club in Milan. I'm currently the area director for Area 5. But I started with Milliners, and last year I was president of this club. And the reason why I'm mentioning especially milliners is because one thing that really makes milliner something special, definitely for me, is the fact that it has, I've lost the count, I think it's either 15 or 16 different nationality. It's incredible because it really makes you feel a Toastmaster of a world. So after this experience as sort of a president of this incredible club, I hope I will bring this same sort of characteristic of diversity and inclusivity also in the area. Area 5, 6 different clubs, 2 different areas that have merged, and we'll need to learn how to work together and know each other. And I'm very excited by this new challenge. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much. For the rest of presentation, please stay within the 30 seconds. Otherwise, we don't have the time to interview everybody. And the next one I ask, I know Claudio Russo might be very, very synthetic. So synthetic that he will speak later. Stephanie.
He's currently on a motorbike.
Mm-hmm.
Hi everyone, I'm Stephanie Cable, area director for B4. It's my second year as area director. I was area director for Israel, and this year for Israel and Cyprus we have 6 clubs. So that's going to be very interesting for me to expand to have 2 countries to manage. Thank
Okay, you. 2 countries to manage. We take note. Christina wants to include her experience as a president of a multinational club, and you have already 2 countries in your area. Now we hear from Eneda.
Oh, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Eneda Pietri, the area director F1 located in the Vienna area. And currently the F1 area has 4 English-speaking clubs. And as such, we have very diverse nationalities. And actually one of the clubs is located in the UN. So there's a lot of diversity and inclusivity about our clubs in our area. And I've been a member for about 5 years now, just to add that one too. Thank you.
Super. Sonia.
Hi, hello. I'm from area F2. It's my first year as area director. I'm located in Salzburg, and I'm responsible for 4 clubs around me. And I actually don't know how much diversity we have at the moment. I know all the club officers, but not the members of the clubs, because I have not started with my club visits yet. So, but I'm really looking forward to the topic, and that's it from my side.
Thank you. Sabina.
Hi all, nice to meet you all. I'm the area director in F3. I'm located in Graz, and I'm responsible for Villach and Ljubljana, so also 2 countries. And I'm also curious about what we learned today, and also not to be biased. I think it's really important, because we all have the biases in our head. Maybe we don't know them, but we have to be aware of them. So I hope I knew something today. And I'm in Toastmasters for 1.5 years, and was president last year, and now area director.
Congratulations. Amber.
Hello, I am brand new area director A2 over in California, Founders District, but I am stationed here in Italy and have been vice president education and membership in Crescita Pro, first and foremost this last year, plus a handful of other clubs, but I shall shut up about those because there's no more time.
Thank you for joining us from California. Roberto. Or Vanessa, if Roberto cannot at the time.
I'm here. Wait a minute that I reconnect with another device. Okay?
Okay.
I can go then. Hi everyone, nice to meet you. I'm Vanessa Sturnari. I'm incoming area director for first time in E3 in the Zurich area of the German-speaking clubs. I am a member of Toastmasters for 5 years, and I have been VPM, VP, and president of my club. Now taking the next step.
And you are not from Zurich, from your surname. Where you are?
No, I'm originally from Greece, but I live in Switzerland. And yes, and I am a member of Zurichberg Toastmasters Club in Zurich, downtown.
Downtown. Super. You see, there's many of you. They even are live diversity and inclusivity already, because you are born in a country and you are living in another country. So this is actually one of the first moments where we face diversity. And Claudio is not yet
Claudio is
here.
here.
I'm here. Hi.
Claudio's here.
Claudio.
Hi, my name is Claudio. I'm one of the beginner here. I'm a member since 218 months ago. And I'm area director. To be area director, I had to begging on my knees to the district director. And thank God I did. So I'm happy. I'm here just to learn for the people who more expert than me. So I'm happy to hear Francesca for this section. Thank you.
Thank you, dear Claudia. And you are a gentleman from the south of Italy. We all know that as well.
And Roberto is rejoining from, he's not rejoining. I admitted him.
Super.
And Roberto is here.
Okay, here we are. I switch the device. Hi to all. I'm Roberto Franchini from area A1. So I'm the area director for this area this year. I'm in Toastmasters in 2016. I was a couple of times president of Radiant Rhetoric. That is my club, VP, and other roles. Then after a while, and after a lot of pushing by Francesca, Katia, and other girls, I took the decision to be the area director for this year.
Bravo. And
It was very spontaneous show. No, I'm doing it as a give back to Toastmasters for all the things that I learned in these 9 years, I would say. So it's a sort of give back and present to Toastmasters to serve as another event.
Thank you, thank you. And we have also here our Madam District Director, Katia Burdet.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Francesca. I'm Katia Burdet from Turin. Happy to be here. And I'm curious about your workshop because there is always something to learn.
Yeah, you are the evaluator for the speaker tonight. How can you split
I know,
yourself?
and then yeah, thank you for say that because I cannot stay here all the time. I should switch versus the hand. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we started with this little round of presentation, and we can already breathe that we are a bright district full of many cultures, countries. Please, Laura, share the map of our district so everybody can see how spread we are. Here we go. You see all the countries, Albania, Austria, Bulgaria, Cyprus, Greece, Israel, Italy, Malta, Slovenia, Switzerland, Türkiye. In these countries we have already clubs, and we are working, you will work on building clubs in the countries that are not signed in bold: Liechtenstein, Montenegro, North Macedonia, San Marino, and Vatican City. So we are spread and we want to be even more spread. The first question I have for you is to rate in a scale from 1 to 5, where 1 is very unknowledgeable and 5 is very knowledgeable. How you would rate your current status of know-how and understanding about diversity and inclusion in the workplace or in Toastmasters?
Would you like me to launch the poll?
Yes, please, so we can collect
So there are two
results.
answers, the 2 questions. The first question is for the workplace. The second question is for Toastmasters.
Exactly.
Can you see the results, Francesca,
Mm-hmm.
from your side? Okay.
I see 11 out of 12, 12 out of 12. So everybody answered. And most of you are rating the knowledgeable like 4. So 8 out of 12 of us are knowledgeable about the matter. 2 people very knowledgeable, 1 very unknowledgeable, and 1 unknowledgeable. So with this parterre of attendees, I maybe can go back, no, and retire and leave the stage to you, because probably you will know better than me. I have collected my experience during my life on myself, during my job, but I always used these principles. Not, I didn't lead a department in a big corporation, for example. But as Laura said during the introduction of myself, I had to deal with diversity and inclusion in my family, first of all. Then at the job, when I started to work when I was 14 years old, and I used to work in the ice cream shop when I was a little teenager. This was the first time where I had to face diversity because everybody was diverse from my home family, and it was job. I needed to sell the ice cream, so I needed to put myself in the shoes of the customer and understand what could be the need. Of course, in the ice cream shop is very easy because you see that people are different. You see the one coming in the wheelchair, you see the little kid screaming because or almost having a tantrum because he wants the ice cream, and you see adults, you see partners, you see everybody, and you see for a short moment. So this is not a big experience, but it was good that I had it when I was a teenager. I invite you to take 30 seconds to think on your childhood, to think on your teenagerhood, and write in the chat, when was the first moment you faced the topic of diversity and inclusion? Chat, chat, chat. Are you so shy? Or I'm having trouble with the computer? Okay, at school. So that's not, I was the only Italian on the beach surrounded by German kids. That might be tough as well. Mm-hmm. Okay, so some of us, even at school or when from we were very, very little, like toddler, and some of us most in the adult age. This is already a sign of diversity and something that we need to be aware, no? So not everybody has our own same experience, our own same background. So the level of understanding might be simple different. Why we talk about diversity and inclusion, in your opinion? Just because, and here you can open the microphone. It's because we want to be good. I mean, I want to be good. Yes, I want my seat in the paradise. When I will leave this earth, I want to have a talk there above with the master and get a seat at the paradise. But is that the only reason why we should take care about inclusivity?
See, Franklin raised his hand. You could just unmute, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, please.
Well, I think it's important for us because we're gonna work with groups, and of course, groups you see all kind of variety and nationalities and orientations, whatever. So we have to be ready to deal with that, and then probably if there is difference happening, we have to canalize those difference. So we have to be ready, and that's why we're talking about this today.
Okay, that's correct. That's correct. Someone else? You can unmute yourself and speak because I'm not able to see everybody from the tablet.
We are living in an international world. More and more people is moving around. Also, corporates are becoming more international. I manage a team of 6 persons from 5 different countries, and you have to deal with different cultures, different ways of communication, different way of managing conflicts, for example, and so you have to be ready for that, because the future is coming, and you can't believe that you are going to live and work just with your neighbors.
Exactly, exactly. This is actually our premises of this session today. Diversity in the workspace, in the workplace, and we can consider Toastmasters a workplace for us because we are district officer. So for us, it's a workplace. Diversity in workplace foster innovation, financial growth, higher employee satisfaction, and attraction and retaining talents. Besides that, when we establish a culture of inclusivity, we reduce also the risk of the legal risk, because we are also to take in we need also to take in consideration that in many countries, of course in all the countries of our district, there are laws. We have laws that protect categories. So if we are not inclusive, we might be also we might occur also in some legal risk. This is not just a sentence, a logical sentence from my side. This sentence was also proved by a study from 2022, McKinsey. It's a study that covered 15 countries and more than 1,000 of large companies. So that, and they really find out that the most racial and ethnic diversity they had in the company, then it was converted in financial also returns. So what seems to be an investment, economic, financial investment and time investment, because when we want to establish a culture of diversity and inclusion, we need to invest, we need to train our people. Today we are training you, and okay, it's not paid, but it's your time that is also a valuable things to take into account. Today, my goal for you was to understand the core concept that were shared from Toastmasters International, from the World Headquarters, about diversity and inclusion. Acknowledge the different types of diversity that we can deal with and the common barriers that we have in our Toastmasters clubs. Reflect on personal experience and bias. So the one who asked about bias, we will discuss it a little bit as well. And I would like that everybody will conclude this session with something, with a bold action to do from tomorrow regarding inclusivity. So now I would like to share with you some main concept, and then we spread into breakouts room to have a little bit of a workshop, let's say a workshop. So first, let's focus on what is diversity, inclusion, and what is discrimination, because those are the main concepts we need to deal with. Each of you, please write 3 words on the chat, just 3, where is the camera? That represent your identity. So how do you find yourself with 3 words?
In the chat?
in the chat.
Sorry, Francesca, can you repeat?
Scrivi 3 parole che ti rappresentano, cioè come ti definisci in 3 parole.
Three words to describe who you are. No more, no less.
No more, no less, exactly.
I could do a Monty Python and the Holy Grail reference here, but I won't.
By the way, do you know from the tablet how can I put the gallery view?
You might need to slide right and left.
Do
What kind of tablet is it?
Mac something.
Wait, it's an iPad or is it is
iPad,
you said
iPad.
I think you just need to slide right. You'll have gallery view. Did that work or no?
Not
because I'm not sure what else.
I was
Okay.
I was reading Amber answer.
Is it discrimination already?
It might be. Okay, now that most of us have replied, and we have also the very precious comment by Amber. Then another question for you as a leader, as area director. How many of these identities that you can read in the chat are welcomed in our typical club meeting? You can write this in the chat.
Sorry, Francesca, the ones that we have written, or looking at all of them?
Looking at all of them, how many of these identities? Yeah, of course, you start from yourself. If you feel welcomed in your club, in your, let's say, 3 parts of your identity, the 3 that you have decided to share today. So, for example, if I read now the Lahore answer, bald Jewish guy, then the question is my club welcoming guys, bald, Jewish? Maybe my club, yes. What happened in my area? Or me as an area director, the club I'm dealing with, are they capable, willing to welcome all these characteristics, people characteristics or identities? You don't need to answer all questions now. It's just food for thoughts. Because maybe when we see a club that is excellent, that is achieving the perfect 10 in the dashboard, and we want to know, oh wow, how this club is working, what I can copy from this club. Sometimes the answer are very pragmatical answer. Sometimes you find the solution, the things to copy in the culture that is living in the club. And this can be for good or bad, of course. Okay. Thank you for your contribution in the chat. When we know, most of the time when we use the term diversity in the workplace, we refer to different personal, physical, and social characteristics. So good for the one who wrote characteristics in the chat. Those characteristics can be the gender, the ethnicity, the age, the education, and more other things. The work that we do, the level in the company hierarchy that we cover. But diversity can also include a difference of view, a different point of view, a different opinion, and a different perception. So when we speak about a culture where diversity is a pro, it's an advantage, it's something that we take care and we want to look at, we include also the difference in opinion, how open-minded we are. And open-minded doesn't mean that we need to agree with someone else's opinion, but we are able and willing to listen to someone else's opinion. On the other hand, inclusion in the workplace refers to the deliberated effort to ensure people of diverse backgrounds feel welcomed, valued, respected, supported, so that they can fully participate and contribute. What does it mean that for us, for area directors? For area directors means that it's not only our mind, what we think, that we believe we are open-minded, that we believe that we are good listeners. Foster a culture of inclusion means also that we take actions to build opportunities for everybody. So the deliberate effort to ensure people of diverse background feel welcomed and valued. So we take actions and we also control. Look at the feedback that we receive from these people, that they are really feeling welcomed. And when I say these people, well, that's already something, no? Who are these people? Everybody, because everyone is different in some meaning, no? Yes, Amber, I'm looking some notes I have, but if I share from the tablet, I will not be able to, you won't be able to see me. So the slides I will share with you later. Don't worry, just stay with me for now.
Do you want me to show the slides?
No, not the slides are not meant to be slides, but to be something to read after, actually, like okay. A memory for later. When I first approached the matter of diversity and inclusion, I thought I knew everything because of my family and professional background. So I thought I knew everything. It was not, as you can guess. The first wow moment for me was to understand that inclusion is different from integration. Integration is a different concept, and what the difference, it's very subtle. It's like if I tell you tolerate, maybe it's much more easy to understand. So It's the place where I feel I am towards the other people in my company or in my Toastmasters team. Because when I think that I am integrating someone else's point of view, that maybe mean that I am tolerating them. So that means I am more important. My ethnicity, my position in the hierarchy. So it's bigger, it's more important, and I am the subject more powerful, and I integrate you. That's not inclusion. Inclusion starts from the fact that everybody is at the same level. So we all include each other. This is another food for thought for you before to go in the breakout room. And some question for later, when you are alone and you are looking in the sky and you think at your experience in Toastmasters. Which part of you often goes unnoticed? Before, you reflected on are all my characteristics welcomed in my club? Now I'm asking you a slightly different question. Which part of you goes often unnoticed? And you
Which
cannot
part?
answer.
Sorry, I
Please?
didn't understand. Which part of you?
Goes unnoticed. Quale non viene
Unnoticed.
notata?
Which part do we not see?
Exactly. Which part we not see? Because you are a secret agent, Amber. 95.
Franklin was asking, what does the question mean? And also Christina
Yeah,
P.
I don't get the question actually. I'm so sorry. If you can provide an example, at least.
Okay. In Italy, when we see a person that is an achiever, is determined, we say, oh, this person has large shoulder, because it means it can carry a big load. Historically, in my family, I was the one with the big shoulders. So it is supposed that I'm not sensible at all. Okay? If you ask me what part of me goes unnoticed, in my family when I was a teenager, or when I was, it was my sensibility, because I got a good note at the school. So I always was a good student. So Francesca is determined. She does her job. She can do this, that, and that. Sensitive. And guess what? This is also something that I took with me at the job. When I started to work in a company, I was the one in the team with the big shoulder. And what was the consequence? That my desk was full of papers. Because, Francesca, you can do it. Take another one, take another one, take another one.
Amber, I see your hand is raised.
Yes, I wanted to ask if I may provide a different example.
Sure.
Toastmasters example. In one club, we have a neurodiverse person who seems to be very bothersome during meetings because this person always cuts in, always interrupts, always asks for clarifications. And so most people will only see that part of this person. What they don't notice is his mind. What they don't notice is how much contribution this person brings to the background, to the overall organization of the club. So what goes unnoticed? But I think we need to start thinking also of what are we not noticing about the people in our clubs? And that's just for the jobs, for the club. I shut up about work, yes?
You anticipated the work in the breakout room. that was the spoiler. Okay, so we are almost arriving in the funny part, no? The funny part is where you find solutions, where you find problems and solutions for your clubs. Just to take note, you can and to simplify a little bit the work in the breakout room, because we don't have we can allow ourselves like 20 minutes in the breakout room. And so in this moment, keep in mind that it can be about race, it can be about ethnicity, it can be about country of birth, it can be about age, about gender, about sexual orientation, about disability, about religion and or spirituality. It can be about socio-economical status. It can be about the study we have done. It can, if we both are get a master degree, it can be about I did it in engineering and you did it in fine arts, so the one who did it in engineering is more intelligent than the one who did it in fine arts. So there's plenty of examples, and and matter to examine. So now I ask Laura to prepare to breakout room and divide the people, our attendees, into rooms with the equal number of participants. In one breakout room, we will discuss how to retain members that are somehow diverse. And in the other breakout room, we will think about how to attract diversity, how to increase the diversity rate in our club. So breakout room is about attraction in members with that are not like all the same. So how to increase diversity rate in our clubs. And the other is how to increase retention rate of diversity in our clubs.
And you said 20 minutes?
Feel free to choose the room you prefer, but at the end we should be like
20 minutes, you said, yes?
Yes.
Okay. Well, the rooms are open, so you can move, or at least should be able to move to whichever one.
Yeah. And you will decide the one person that will deliver a 2-minute speech after. You know the rule, no? Of the breakouts room. When you come back, one person needs to speak.
I can't see the rooms.
I don't see.
Okay, try now. Try now. Sorry,
Yeah. Yes.
okay. We need more people in their attention. Everyone's looking about how to increase, not how to retain.
Because it's easier.
Well, we
to
can.
increase.
Yeah, it is easier. We're now about half and half. So Franklin and Claudio. Franklin, please choose which room you'd like to go to.
Oh, I already chose actually. It was retain members.
Okay, I'll move you there.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Yep. And Claudio is maybe he's not here.
You can move him, no?
No, Claudio?
No, I'm here, but I'm in trouble right now.
You're in trouble.
Yeah.
I'll move you to a breakout room if you're not against it.
Which is the breakout room?
Sorry?
How can I get to the breakout room?
I'll move you.
Okay.
Okay. Laura, can I ask you a favor?
Katya is still here, but Katya is
I know that she will go to Radiant. Can the slide number 13? Can you do a screenshot and put in both breakouts room?
okay. And do it in your club area division, race ethnicity. Okay. It says what barriers might people face in Toastmasters, what actions can a club take to be more inclusive?
Yeah, wait a moment. Group activity. Let's simplify for the area.
Yeah.
Oh.
Let me do that. Because I'm on my computer, so I'm discriminated against
yeah.
against
I out and I come back because I received the notification that something went wrong when I access. So maybe this is the reason why I cannot swipe.
Yeah, try again.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Thanks.
I had a moment of panic. I couldn't get out of the room.
It was so interesting. It was really good.
I'm happy, and we didn't even go technical now in the in descriptions, in definitions. So the first group I would like to hear is the how to increase the attraction of diversity in our diverse people in our clubs.
How long do I have?
Maximum 2 minutes. From
I'll
1
give
to
you
2.
green at 1 and red at 2.
Okay, perfect. All right, so we had a very nice discussion about how to increase diversity, and we spoke about a lot of different kinds of diversity in terms of nationalities, age, income, and physical disability. We had a few strategies on how to increase diversity. We spoke about advertising in the right places, so we get different kinds of people, different sources of leads and people coming and visitors to the clubs. We also spoke about explaining the value of diversity I had the example of someone who was young and was asking as a visitor, was asking what's the age group, and having the ability to explain that, okay, you're not going to be just with youngsters, you're going to have a variety of ages, and show that it's not a disadvantage, but actually something positive. I think that's also increases diversity if we manage to attract more people. And we spoke also about location. Location is quite important in terms of how we attract people. And apparently in the center of town, we can get more diverse people, and also could be also a factor in terms of income, like because the room that people rent could be quite expensive. There is a limit on how we can be diverse in that regard. So that's something to keep in mind, but sometimes it's not possible. Sometimes it's not possible to lower prices, and we have to be aware of that. And also getting help from the members, like if there is a diversity that other members can help with, like physical disability, that could be also a good something to help to bring awareness to the members that they can also be part of bringing all these people to the club. Thank you very much.
Thank you, dear Stephanie. I'm putting some notes for some comments later, but first I want to listen to the representative of the group for retention. We speaking?
Francesca knows I am not good at summarizing.
So
everything else is introvert. They don't want to speak. So I will try to stay on track. So practically we were talking about not pushing people before they are ready. Then we discussed the allowing space for members to share openly their needs and so forth, at the same time not expecting them to, also because that does open the door to bullying, and also people are allowed to have their privacy as one of the privacy rules. So we were talking about whether inclusion is going to probably be more become more and more with the younger generations because there is more training about it. But then again, we can have all the training we want. If it doesn't come from the heart, it's not really there. And also putting on the facade during meeting time and having a different face when it's not meeting time is not inclusion. So we need to be careful. Also, people can come across as too sensitive or too cold or anything, but you know, holding space for someone is by not expecting them to be like us or like we want them to be. So I think that is pretty much the gist of it. Oh yes, the importance of assigning the proper mentor to the proper person. So really studying, and one more thing, don't say to someone, here, this is your mentor. Present them, let them have a chit chat so they can get a chance to connect and see if they're actually the right fit. I shall zip it now.
Okay, thank you. And thank you for the
summary.
for the mentoring part, because this is exactly one action item for our VP or VP membership to keep track how is going the relationship between mentor and mentee. That's an action that you can, area director, you can add in your list of tips and tricks for your VP and VPM. Okay. You said you gave me a lot of inputs and angles. You know, the team is very large. Regarding the income, that's an interesting point, because one factor of success of our clubs is that we are able to define a club identity. And club identity means that we create an avatar, no? We create the persona, 3 or 4 personas for our club. And when we create a persona, we actually are saying, okay, this is our favorite member, the kind of member that we want to have in our club. And that means that something else, it's not our favorite member. So it's a work of balance. But there are, when we go in detail, there are aspects like, for example, the income, that it's okay. We want to be inclusive. We cannot always be inclusive towards people with low income if we are going to rent a venue in downtown. But when in the moment we become aware of this problem, we might look for other solutions, like, for example, find a sponsor, find a company that can pay the venue for us, for our club. Maybe we can look for companies. Their mission is close to Toastmasters missions. They believe in personal growth or whatever. Or we can look for a location where they already are hosting a school. I can tell a lot of things, but you have also your mind and experience, and you can think as well. Christina, please.
Simply, in relation to what you just said, I think there are some barriers naturally that, if we think of income, there's not much we can do because we have costs. They have to pay Toastmaster. And so I felt slightly, I wouldn't say guilty, but I had question marks of what can I do? And I found that my soul was relieved by the youth leadership program, because especially if you choose certain schools, in fact, as Toastmaster, you're offering back, in some cases, to people that have less opportunity in terms of income. And it's what I really loved this last year, because I had two experiences, and one of them was in a technical school.
Exactly. And now we are entering the second part of this seminar, which is about our assumption, bias, and microaggression. So first of all, it is good to underline, in my opinion, that discrimination is a deliberated action to discriminate someone based on race, age, work, study, whatever, okay? Sexual orientation, or all the things that all the things that we have talked before. So it's a deliberated action. Deliberated that we want to exclude a specific category. This is discrimination. We want to exclude a specific category. The assumption, the fact that we sometimes fell in the trap of discrimination, even if it is not a deliberated action from our side, is because, normality. What is normality? There is no definition about normality, no?
Statistically, 67% of the...
Exactly. Normality, it's a number. It's for a group that has specific characteristics. The majority of the people with these specific characteristics, they build the normality. Exactly. Bravissima, Amber. Fortunately, I have Amber here that puts the description, the definitions. So, for me, normal can be something because I have born in a Christian country. I have born in a family with this, and that. So, blah, 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 blah. For me, normality represents these certain things. And for someone else, it's another thing. And we can discuss here for 3 days about the idea of normality. For us, when we are in the position of the leader, I think the first thing, the first thought to keep in mind is curiosity. If we are curious towards the other, what different from me, then we are kind of safe. And regarding bias and assumptions, bias and assumptions are, they belong to our natural defenses. So you cannot escape. You can decide, oh, I will never do an assumption in my life, because you will do. This is in our DNA. The nature made it for us to protect us from some wild beast coming from far away. No, we needed to build some assumption. If think at someone, some old our ancestors. No, they had no clothes in the wild nature. They need to understand very soon that 2 kilometers away, this shadow means a wild beast. So assumption in that case, they were useful. And the same is for us nowadays. We do assumption because we need to protect ourselves. And maybe 90% of the cases, assumptions are good. So your gut feeling 90% of the time is okay. You are right. The point is, when we think that this 90% is the only true, then sooner or later we will face the 10% that can bring us in trouble. So I invite you to approach your Toastmasters here as an area director with curiosity. Why this club is doing like that? Why this club officer is doing like that? So before to judge or before to provide any kind of help of support, first of all, try to understand. Understanding, it doesn't mean that you will automatically excuse or forgive or allow certain behaviors, but you understand first. So assumptions, they are not enemies. Bias, they are not enemies. What we need is that we need to recognize it. And by recognizing it, when it's a discrimination, it's very easy. So I don't want to talk about very easy things with you. I'd like to talk about microaggressions. So microaggressions are these subtle sentences that we provide thinking that we are doing something good, but in fact, we don't. I have a collection of sentences. Wait a moment. So I read some sentence, and you, Amber, you not, because you are too good for that. Someone else. Okay. Tell me what is the problem with this sentence. She's surprisingly good at math for a woman.
She's what?
She's wow, she's amazing. She's surprisingly good at math.
For a woman. That's the
That's in bracket. So what is behind? What is the stereotype behind?
Yeah, the assumption is that only men are good in math.
This is machism. If you can call it like this in English. In Spanish, it's machista. It's
toxic masculinity.
Yes, thank you.
By definition, it's a microaggression. So you are not intended to hurt. You are intended to give a compliment. Oh, you are good in math. you are so good in math. I'm surprised. And you even smile because you are really surprised, no? But then you see the face that, what? And even what I'm telling you now, that this is a microaggression, it is not true all the time. Because you can also meet someone, a woman that will smile and appreciate your compliment and take it as a compliment, and it's okay.
May I add something?
Yes, sure.
Okay, so probably she will smile if this phrase came from another people. So an overrate. You know that somebody that is over 70, 80 will use this kind of sentences, and they consider this kind of sentences as compliment. But if this sentence come out from an under 50, we have a problem. And it's not a compliment.
If I may add to that, I don't think, if this person, this woman, whatever, was never good at math, and now maybe, I say, oh, you're really good at math. Then I made wondering, I grew up somewhere where never was discussed that a woman is something bad at school. Even at school was always normal if a boy was not so good at school. I think it is also, as soon as we always say, we see in those sentences, this is really discrimination, then it's discrimination. But it's not always the case. Not always. Maybe I'm wondering, I don't know, maybe I didn't see so many discriminations in that is really, you're a woman. And if someone is saying, then it's immediately discrimination. I think it is really, there's more to that than that.
I see an hand raised. Thank you, Christina. That probably Sonia will add something to that as well.
Yeah, I'd just like to add that that's the interpretation of a person itself. And I learned to myself that, as you said before, curiosity, if you add the question and you said, oh, thank you, what especially surprises you so much? And then it can perfectly turn out into it was a real compliment or it is discrimination. I have seen it so many times on stage where I say the stereotype, white old man. And then you think, okay, how did he mean that? And then it was a question, and then he went totally down the drain. It was absolutely discrimination. So I think this one question, interested and what exactly do you mean with it, is then showing his real character. That's my experience with this kind of thing.
Yeah, and this is something that it's a really good tool. So before to get offended, just ask, what exactly do you mean?
If I can say something, one thing I noticed is in our case, our club, because there are so many different countries, is that some of this creeps in the icebreakers. So we've had a few instances of, I would say, almost aggressive cultural biases by the person giving the icebreaker. So I think especially for anybody in the ExCom, whether it's the VPA or the president, is through the mentor and also talking directly to the person to sort of kindly open the mind and make understand the person that there was an issue that it could hurt other members. And after you see that people through the climate and inclusivity of the club, they slowly change. But icebreakers can be the moment, the critical moment when you have to do something.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's the only project where we get this pre-decided assignment to speak about yourself. And this is not to take under consideration. No? People, they really speak about themselves and and the emotion and everything. So when we deliver our first icebreaker, we go on the stage with a lot of expectations, with a lot of fears, of prejudgments and bias towards ourselves and towards the audience. So it's something that as an area director, you can still add in your list of tips and tricks. It's like deal with the problem when it's not yet a problem. Amber?
Yes, in instances like that, or when someone gives an absolutely devastating feedback, for example, there's always a very fine balance between falling into the trap, as Francesca said before, of responding with toxicity to toxicity, so to speak. And also, we have to be very careful not to deny somebody's personal life experience, because that too is discrimination. That too is shutting them down. That is what they lived on their skin, in their bodies. Like, denying them their experience is another form of discrimination. So we can find ways to take care of it, to bring back the focus to the center and say, well, surely you want to, you mean very well with this. I had something similar with one of the kids. They were talking really toxically about another culture. I say, well, we need to learn public speaking so that we can become more diplomatic in sharing these differences and learning to grow from them instead of to be upset by them. So, but of course, all of us are in the making, yes.
Then more experience we collect, the more good we become in facilitating friendship and union. Other not a sentence. I propose you a scenario, and then we go back to the famous sentence I collected during the years. A sort of scenario. In our company, we don't show any religious signs like cross. How do you say in English? The cross or candelabra or whatever, because we respect all religion. What do you think? Is that inclusion? Franklin?
I believe this is appropriate. Sorry to say that, because one of the things, the three topics we don't have to speak at work is religion, politics, and sports. It always makes it worse for people. Everybody has different opinions. However, when you see somebody with a cross, or when you see somebody with, any kind of religious item, it's not our job to tell them that. It's just, we have to respect it, because we don't know those persons. We don't know what they're passing through. However, I believe in the workplace, this has to be, it's my opinion, all right? So sorry if I offend somebody, but even though if it's prohibited, we don't have to judge those people, and we don't have to tell them. I mean, we have to respect their spaces. Anyway.
Okay, Christina, it's until 9, 2 hours. It's meant to be 2 hours.
Okay,
but if you have
because my calendar, I got invitation from 6 till from 7 till 8:30. That's why, for 1.5 hours. That's why I was now wondering that we're still having. Okay.
Let me check in the Zoom. Should be 2 hours. And
yeah, my Zoom. Yeah, maybe something went wrong, but my Zoom shows.
I would say if any of you has commitments because of some mistake from our part, from our side, please feel free to leave, and we will continue here with those of you that can continue, and we will provide the recording and so on. Franklin, that's the easy choice. It's very easy. We do all blank, we do all white. And by doing all white, we don't do mistake. So this is the easy way. However, if we want to work towards inclusivity, so if we are speaking about taking steps, in the company can be that we allow space to celebrate every religion that is represented in our company. So we send the human resource department send a kind email to everybody who told I am a believer, I believe in this religion, and so on. Also taking care of the fact that even if I was born in Italy, it can be that I'm not a Catholic still. So it's very tricky. It's difficult. That's why it's much more easy to have no sign at all. Because doing actions to provide a real inclusion, it's a lot of work. And now I'm speaking about the message of this message. Maybe a more simple action can be, for example, in our clubs, as well as it could be done in a company, but let's speak about our clubs. In our clubs, maybe we can have, at the international convention, you know, the final of the final organized by Toastmasters International, one of the evening, you can go at the dinner dressed like you in your traditional dress. So, and this, Laura and Katia, they have been there. That's an amazing ceremony. That's an amazing party because you see all different styles and dresses and how people they feel and they present themselves. That's a little action. Okay, so that's some action, for example. Putting the the dirty under the tapestry. How do you say it in English? So this is an easy solution, but you are not facing the challenge, the real challenge to be inclusive. It is still a legitimate choice, okay? So don't be afraid if you are not, if in your club or in your company you don't have the time, the energy, the money to establish a strategy to provide the real inclusion, it's okay, we can understand it. But just for us to know that trying to cancel every sign of diversity, this is not inclusion. This is canceling, canceling a culture. It's also not inclusion. Let's go back to the sentence. Let's ask the guys in IT.
I have to confess, I've used it many times at work.
Me too.
The thing is, you have to remember that in different English usage, this means all. Like for me, in California usage, guys means everyone. It's just the way I talk, you know, it means people. So maybe for others, guys means only men, but if you were to say that in California, in LA, it means everyone. The guys means the gals too. Now, now you're talking about actual different language, you know? just saying.
Laura, the sort of the bias is not guys, and I agree with what you just said. It's the IT.
It's well, in my let's say my collection, it's referred to the guys. So all people in IT are guys, are male. Let's ask the guys.
It's sadly true.
It's sadly true.
We have a gender gap problem in IT, a big one. 90% of the people is male. So the guys in IT are 90% men. And this is a problem. And this is a problem.
And this is a fact, no? That if in your company now let's take the example of company. If in your company the IT department is made really only by males, then you are using a very correct language. Let's ask the guys. There are only guys there.
We had two women over 40 developers. So it's 1% of developers. When you go in other departments such as HR or product management or whatever, percentages is a little bit different, but no more than 10%, 15% of women in IT companies. Now the things are changing, but very, 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 very slow. And yes, if you are in an American company, they invite you to use the folks instead of guys, but nobody care about it. If you come if you join the stand-up meeting in the morning, say hello guys, and you have also girls in your team, and everything, nobody care.
Okay, and you see, there's many words that are like forever, definitive, nobody, always, forever, never. Those are little words that can catch our in a trap. Because the moment we think something is forever, or nobody gets offended, or everybody is understanding it, I mean, 90% of the time it's like that. 90% your gut feeling is correct. The point is the 10%. Okay, this is something I used to say a couple of times before I was schooled, because I have an autistic brother, so I know everything about autism. And I used to say, autistic kids, they don't like to be touched. What is wrong in this sentence? It's not true. It is simply, it's not true. Many, but not everybody. And in fact, when we speak about autism, we are speaking about a spectrum, because there is not a list of characteristics that they are unique for all the people with autism. And actually, there are many, they love to be touched. So, but the problem is it was not this sentence, at least in my experience. The problem was the consequence. Because when I am convinced of something that is like that, then my actions reflects my beliefs. And not only I was not touching that person, but I was also protecting that person from somebody else's touch. And the outcome was not what I was desiring. And this can happen because this is we don't know the phenomenon, no? We don't know how exactly it works. Or recently, I see that, for example, on Facebook, on my TikTok threads, I don't know if you receive the same threads, but I receive a lot of input like do the ADHD in English, ADHD test. Get this test. So this now becoming a fashion, a mode, a trend. And you can meet a lot of people. They can tell you, I have this syndrome, or this person is suffering from this syndrome. And you don't know if it is true or not. But your belief can create actions in your strategy, and they can conduct you to a different result. For example, in our clubs, maybe we can have an officer which has the attitude to be very forgiving towards people. They have some sort of disability. Oh, no. He did it or she did it because she has this syndrome. So don't give feedback to this person because she has this syndrome. That resonates to you. Can this happen in our club?
Can
like
I?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, in a few minutes I will have to go, and I apologize for that. But as I was telling the other in the group, 2 years ago I've been diagnosed with ADHD, attention deficit and hyperactivity disorder. And what I take from it is now I can see other people's, I can read through them in some aspect, and this is so cool because instead of being judged, instead of judging them, I can understand them already. I can have an idea of what they've been through and all of it. So I have a story, and my reaction is try to make them welcome anyway. You know, to feel them comfortable, given the space. And when I see some reactions, well, okay, I understand. So I get a little bit more apart, or I get closer. But that's what I'm applying now in every day in my life, even in Toastmaster. So for me, at the end, this is a blessing. I get to grow, and I get also to educate, or not to educate, but somehow. And I'm really happy with that. And one of the reasons I'm in Toastmaster is because of it. I want to speak one day professionally about ADHD and all of that universe.
And we will help you.
No,
we will help you.
I already gave my TEDx talk about it. Thank you so much, everybody. I need to go. I have some guests, and it was lovely having you. Thank you.
Bye, Franklin. And we follow up with some slides and exercise for after work. Enjoy your guest. So what is wrong in the sentence, or what doesn't work so much in the sentence? Oh, he's just autistic. Don't expect too much.
I mean, it's an assumption what people can bring and what people can do and how they can behave, and you limit not only the person but also the environment with such statements.
Exactly. We limit the person, and in Toastmasters this is already a problem because we are an organization which proposes exactly to have people grow. So if we limit the growth of a single individual in our club, we are not achieving our Toastmasters mission. And the other consequence is that also we don't provide, we limit also the other members. So this is exactly the point.
Yeah. I also meant, like, if you cut people, like, because you put them in an assumption in the box how they behave, you also you limit yourself and the people around from the benefit that the person could bring.
Very true.
Thinking, yeah.
Very true. Another example. The role is very demanding. We need a young person. The role is very energy demanding. We need a young person.
So we are switching to ageism.
This is the ageism, exactly. This is ageism. Okay, that's interesting. You don't look disabled, actually.
Sorry, can you repeat?
You don't look disabled, actually.
Yeah, this is also wrong on so many levels because it makes not only the assumption that you have something to show, but also that the other person should see it and agree with that assessment whether one person is disabled or not.
Exactly. And back to the intention, no? The intention is good. We wanted to do a compliment, no? No, actually, you don't look disabled. So the intention is to say something nice, but the result, it can be not nice because, well, this also, this is assuming that all disabilities are to seen, so that we are visible, but we know that there are disabilities, they are not visible at all. So this is also another another level of assumption that only the visible disabilities are real disabilities. And what we don't see, it's not a real disability. It's like you are spoiled. This is not a disability. And also because if we try to say, oh, you don't look like disabled, it's like we want to cancel, no? We are trying to cancel something that is a fact for that person. Another sentence. I am not racist. I have black friends. I can tell also the version with gay friends. I am not racist. I have a lot of gay friends. So what is strange in these sentences? I promise that's the last word. I have only another one for you, and then I cut. Then we wrap up.
Yeah, you group them in a group, or like they're gay, there's something else. But I accept them. But you, as you say it like that, you mention that they're not normal.
Correct. I saw some other faces. You can open your microphone and talk.
Well, practically, it's best not to say anything of the sort. Period. Even just saying, I accept, people immediately get angry at you for saying, I accept everyone. Are like, no, she has something to hide. So it's just best to not even say anything. Just avoid the topic altogether. And be nice and friendly. But yeah.
Yeah, of course. And this is always the easiest, you know, just neutral, nice, and friendly. So the point with this sentence, it's also that first of all, it sounds already defensive, no? Why you are telling me that I am not a racist? That this sounds a little bit defensive. So why you feel attacked? If you sound defensive, it means you feel that someone is attacking you. So who is this someone attacking you? Question mark. And the other thing is we are actually maybe not addressing the real problem in the context, in the large context. Okay. This is also a microaggression that It's a phenomenon that its studies show that this phenomenon is actually increasing. And if you tell me what phenomenon is that, you will win a beer. Don't be so sensitive, it was just a joke. And Eda.
I mean, downplaying and masking the intention of the joke.
Yeah. If you want to speak about the phenomenon that I was referring is the gaslighting. And it's like giving comments and blame the person who is offended by your joke or by your action. And this, it's something that well, unfortunately, outside of Toastmasters, this phenomenon is kind of increasing. Like, no, it was not, I didn't tell it. It was your imagination. You understood the situation like that. But those sort of sentences, if we listen to these sentences outside, they can become part of our language. And that can become risky for us as leader. Better to say, I apologize that I gave you this perception. It was not my intention to give you this perception. I apologize. So you still recognize that the person had this perception. And then you correct yourself and your wording. Okay, there's many other sentences in my collection. I would like you also to share your own collection with me if you have during the incoming days. So you will receive from me a follow-up documents with the slides that I didn't show that can be resume. You will find also descriptions, some reference to the US law regarding discrimination. The US law for us is important because Toastmasters is an organization based in the US. Still, we need to double check what is in our country as well, because we need to respect both regulation. The regulation where our organization is born as the world headquarters and where our clubs are running the business. And we are subjected to both. So always keep in mind to double check. And this can be an interesting exercise, in my opinion, to also to compare what is relevant in one country and what is relevant in another country. I know, I see some messages that you all have to leave, so thank you for your time. Congratulations for investing your time in the role of the area director. If during the year you will have some doubts, troubles, or concerns regarding inclusivity, diversity, you have the core team people, Laor, Katya, Meltem, everybody is here. I'm here also as well for you to reach out. Just don't leave it as unnoticed. If you see something, say something. And for those of you that can rest can stay for other 5 minutes, I would like you to open the microphone and tell me one takeaway that you got today. For the other, buon appetito. Roberto, take away.
But sincerely, it's not the first time that I attend to a diversity inclusion course, because until December I was in an American company and we had 1 day course per year, just because we we had people from all over the world mostly, and it was very interesting. Just targeted to Toastmaster because not all the club are international club, so sometimes we have just we deal with Italian people and German people. But when we have to deal with people coming from all over the world, we have to take care of all the stuff, culture, religion, and I didn't think about disability until today, sincerely. So it's a point that I would take in my notes. Even physical disability or disability that you can see, like neurodivergences or any other things that you can see immediately, but you should take care of them as well as physical disabilities. Be open.
In the club visit report, there is a question they ask about the accessibility of the room.
Yes, but it's a thing that Cecilia didn't take in account. We have a small stair, but it's in the for example in our club before we had the location of the without any impediments. Right now we have a small stair, but there is also the lifter, chairlift. But I don't know if we can use it, for example. So it could be hard for people with.
And I see that you are watching towards them. So say hello.
No, they are in another room.
Thank you for
so this is a good point that I will take.
Much appreciated. Vanessa, what is your takeaway today?
I always enjoyed in Toastmasters the diversity. Also in my club were more than 25 nationalities. Here today also it is like a bit of what you have to take care, because when also you bring so many different people together, maybe you hear or you cut things that they're meant to be a joke, but they're not. And this was a good watch out for me.
Thank you. Sabine?
Yes, for me also, like the taking care of the language, because language is such a powerful tool, and that we have to include everyone, and also like the things when we don't think about, like the location and all these things. So it was really a nice input, and yeah, let me think. It lets me think a little bit.
Settle down. Stephanie.
Thank you, Francesca. It was a very interesting training. And I guess we don't realize the extent of diversity we need to take into account, whether it's physical disabilities or nationalities or language or religion. Like, it's so diverse that we might be aware of some of them, but not all of them. And I think that was a very comprehensive view of what it is that we need to pay attention to.
Correct. Eneda.
Thank you. It was a great discussion, and actually for me, it just increased the awareness of talking about this with the club presidents, because in Toastmaster, we're always focused about it being a safe environment where we can improve ourselves and our personal development. But inclusivity as such and how to retain members, I don't think we have really openly talked about it. It's been more kind of implied that this is Toastmasters, we're great company for personal development. And there are some things, for example, for the physical barriers, it's going to be hard to change, because some clubs have found this place that it is really cheap, but then it comes at the cost of stairs. And changing that, it's not going to be easy, or let's say that's not really going to happen right now, because moving to a place that's barrier free, especially in Vienna, it's going to be either in some place that's not easily accessible by public transport and other things. So in that part, it's not going to be easily solved, or at least not right now, maybe in the future.
Or maybe
However, it is.
in your club someone which has the willingness and the power to rise, no, the person. I mean,
Yeah, absolutely.
the point is be aware of it.
Absolutely. Actually, our club is in a location that's barrier free, but it does come at the cost that we are one of the most expensive clubs then in Vienna.
Yeah.
So there's the balance there that some of the things have to be taken into account. But yes, for me, it's increased awareness of explicitly talking about this and discussing this with the presidents.
Thank you. Amber, there is something that you take away. This is a microaggression, by the way.
Microaggression, because she knows I am working on a workshop for dealing with bullying and with similar problems and so forth. But the important part is, I believe what we said earlier in our breakout room, I don't remember even. But if like we start out assuming that everyone is special, everyone is different, and we are curious, as you kept on saying, when we are curious, we can't really be in reactive mode. So that makes it easier for us to overcome any initial shocks. But yeah, I will work on that workshop. Yes.
Thank you, everybody. Laura, you say your takeaway and you can close the room. Thank you, everybody, for attending this session. I learned some other sentence and things to add to my to my book.
My takeaway is that I'm sweating here because I don't have AC. It's the one room I don't have AC in. Kill me. And this is going on YouTube. I should probably edit that out. So, I mean, look, I've done this training before, and of course we had it for the Club Growth Acceleration series, and of course we went through it as a trio last year. And I think the takeaway for me still, like to think about, of course, kind of the other things that which we've thought about here. For example, like of course, the location of a place affects your market. It always does, not just because, okay, if I'm located here in downtown, I'm gonna be able to get these particular people because they're easier. It's easier for them to get to, right? That's classic. But it's true, like the income does affect what kind of member you're going to have. This was the big takeaway for me, right? Biggest, I should say. And that we might not think about how much that is a factor when we charter a club or when we try to market it or, whatever. And I can tell that as a member of a club that chartered in one of the most expensive cities in the world, in probably not the cheapest place, even though it's relatively it is cheap compared to what we found. It still affects it, and so we always need to think about how we can go around that to try and get more people. That was like, for me, that was the big takeaway, for us in Toastmasters, and it can affect other things. So that's my takeaway. So with that, Francesca, do you want to give any other takeaways from what you've heard today? Otherwise, I'm gonna wrap this up. You're okay. You're good. All right. We are over time anyway. So thank you all for coming. The area directors, I think that this is something that is very important in terms of how we look at making sure our area is functions well and healthy, and because a good, healthy, functioning area means your quality is much higher. Members want to be there, And in the end, of course, we also have higher retention and higher growth and so forth. So this is very important for you. With that, our next, first of all, I do want to say thank you to Francesca for this very good workshop. Thank you so much. I want to thank all of you for joining, and of course Katja as well as the district director, honored guest. And we will be having our next session in just a week with, that means on July 17th, it'll be 2 hours at the same time. It'll be run by, well, by our very own district director, Katja, about the 5 most important things for area directors. So I hope to see you all. It'll be the same link as this one. You can, of course, click on the register. It's going to be the same, but same link. And I think that's it. And we'll be following up, of course, with the slides. Thank you all for coming, and till next time.
Slides and exercise.
Slides and exercise, yes.